Jai Srimanarayana. Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Today is July 4th. Happy Independence Day to everyone in US. We're fortunate to meet again today. We'll start with chapter 1, Sloka 13 today. We finished up to 12 last week. So I will share the screen. Jai Srimanarayana. Okay, Sloka 13. Please repeat after me. Tata Sankascha Bhairyascha Panavanaka Gomukhaha Sahasaivabhyahanyanta Sasabdastumulo Bhavat. Let's chant together. Tata Sankascha Panavanaka Gomukhaha So what happened so far up to Sloka 12?
Warriors were introduced from both sides, Duryodhana.
Yes.
Then I think they're when after that I think Bhishma, the last one, Simhanadam, he made a the sound, that war sound kind of a thing, right? That
Lion sound, yes. Yeah. Like that, yes. 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 Okay. And then he blew his conch.
Conch, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
happy, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to bring an end to that, seriousness out there. That was the purpose, right?
He wanted to bring some relief or comfort to Duryodhana. Now, Duryodhana's state of mind at the time is distress, misery, sorrow, agitated, right? As a result of his fear, he was fearing that after looking at Pandava's army, he was also jealous. I mean, that fear, when he saw that, he got jealous. They are so, they look so great, and compared to his own army, they look great, right? So he was able to recount 18 warriors apart from Pandavas on Pandava's side, and he was able to only recollect or say only 7 warriors on his side. Okay, so basically he is in a state of distress, and he gave an order to his guru, and he simply went back, right? So he did not try to reduce his sorrow. I mean, that is the primary primary learning that we have from Duryodhana's attitude at that time and his behavior, his action, right? He approached his guru, who could have given him some advice. He could have asked his guru, what they should do. Instead, he, simply, ordered his guru, and he went back to his place. Okay, so I mean, when Bhishma saw that conversation that is happening between Duryodhana and Dronacharya. So he recognized that Duryodhana is in distress. So to give him kind of a relief, comfort, he blew his conch. He made that sound. Probably he's saying enough of it also, right? I mean, as you say, that's fine. We are to give comfort to not only Duryodhana but the entire army, Kaurava army. So he blew his conch, right? Then what happened after that? So in Sloka 13, so basically all the Kauravas, they started, blowing their conches and all the war instruments that they have. So tataha, then, I'm going through the Sloka 13. Tataha sinkhascha beryascha panavanaka gomukhaha. So they blew their conches, and then Bhairya has drums, okay? Sankha is conch, and Panava, Anaka, Gomukhaha. There are also various kinds of war instruments to make that sound, to basically cheer their side up, and then bring some kind of a fear in opposite side, right? Whenever we hear large sound, that it causes some kind of a disturbance for us, isn't it? So let us say if the sound is very low, then you think, oh, there are not many people there, and then if the opposite side sound is very low, then not many people are there. Now if they started, so that's why they would play all these war instruments to cheer their side up, and then to give distress, to kind of fear, to raise fear in the opposite side. So what happened after that? Sa sabdaha tumulaha abhavat. So that means, so when all these people started playing together, sahasa eva abhyahanyanta. So they started playing all these war instruments at the same time. Okay. Then it became a tumulaha, is tumultuous. It's kind of a loud noise. Okay. And so basically at the same time everybody played, so it became very, very loud. Okay. So what does it indicate to us? This kind of again, we
That's confusion.
there is sorry, go ahead.
That's confusion. Everybody is confused, right? Disorderly. I think disorderly is a better word.
Right. Exactly. So if you read the sloka, word by word, we may not get that inner meaning, the hidden meaning. So basically, the fact that everybody is playing the drums at the same time, or blowing their conches. Now, as we were saying, right, everybody has a kind of an instrument that they would play to declare themselves in the war field. So if all of them play at the same time, you can't figure out who did that, right? So there is, let us say, person A is blowing at the same time as person B. You can't make out whether A and B are there, or only A is there, or B is there, and both of them are not there. Like, it is mixed, right? So there is no, order in So they basically don't, why would they play together is basically there is no discipline. Okay. So on Kaurava side, there is a definite lack of discipline and also insubordination. Like, why would I wait for somebody, right? If I am, let us say, I need to wait for somebody to finish, that means I recognize the other person as superior to me, or superior in rank to me, or right, or greater compared to me. But if I, that subordination is not there, if I don't recognize that, then I also want to play at the same time. Okay.
Sorry, Balaji, can you mute that line? It's one of the lines is unmuted.
I think Varaprasad ji has to do that.
Yeah.
I made him the host.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
did it. I
Thank you.
muted.
Yes.
Okay. So, so when there is a lack of discipline and lack of subordination, lack of coordination, then the army, basically that entire army, is acting on their own. They're not looking after each other success, right? They're not working as a team. The team discipline is missing. I mean, this by just knowing that all of them played the sound at the same time, we understand all this inner details. So why would somebody do that? I mean, again, we go why we try to understand, right? You can see that the king himself is, king representative, or the prince, Duryodhana, he himself is like that, right? So he went to his guru and he did not respect him. He basically blamed him, he blamed him for the success of or the capabilities of on the opposite side. He said, they are your disciples, right? So it is kind of a blame game, right? Is not directly saying, hey, you are responsible for it, but that way of saying is kind of indicating that, hey, you taught them all these things, you're responsible for this, kind of, right? So he's blaming his guru. He's not respecting guru. When he approaches guru the way once somebody should speak, he didn't do that. Then he simply said and gave a order and then came back. So he's basically not treating the elders, gurus in that way they should be treated. So obviously, everybody gets the same kind of behavior from from the leaders, right? If the leader himself is not following properly, then the entire army, the team is not going to follow. And if team is not following, the leader can't come and say, hey, you guys are supposed to do this, right? So basically, the entire team is on their own. Everybody thinks they are great, and or everybody thinks, like maybe the other person is not so great. And I don't have to wait for the other person. I don't have to recognize them as my superior, or I don't have to protect him. He doesn't have, he is not going to protect me because he probably doesn't think that I should be protected. So basically, they are all on their own. So there's absolutely no teamwork. Okay.
So it's only Duryodhana side, sir. No, these sounds were made only. Okay.
Yeah, this is we are still on Duryodhana side. So
Okay.
Kaurava army. So so if the leader, this is something that we need to learn, right? The leader doesn't follow the dharma, that entire society gets corrupted. That's exactly what happened under Kaurava rule. There was one question about whether Duryodhana was a good king or not, right? Absolutely, this is the problem. He may be able to rule like any other king, right? But there are certain characteristics, which are so basic. Like if we don't respect our elders, gurus, if the king doesn't respect elders, gurus, then obviously the entire society doesn't respect elders and gurus. That's how the entire society gets corrupted. Now, that is, respecting guru is one of the dharmas. Parents, elders, gurus, and so that is so basically there is no dharma there, right? If the king is adharmic, then the entire society becomes adharmic. They may have roads and buildings and all those things, that's fine, but the society is totally going to be disturbed, and in the long run it will there will not be any peace. Okay, so in that aspect, Duryodhana was a bad king. He did not set the right example, what he should do as a leader.
Seems they were never trained for this, right? I think that's why the chaos. I don't think they were, right?
If again we said like leader doesn't have a good opinion about the team, right?
Yeah.
Then they are left on their own. They're not given the proper instructions.
Yeah.
You have to respect. Even if I give the instructions, if I'm not following, right?
Yeah.
Then if I give instruction to somebody to follow, they may not follow because, hey, you are not following the instructions. Why should I? So it's not, if we have to read Mahabharata, obviously there must have been some instructions given to everybody, but nobody seems to follow. The teamwork is missing. Right. So Bhishma is a great commander-in-chief. So he would have given the instructions, but when the team saw Duryodhana himself not following, then they don't. And there is not even, so when somebody is adharmic, right? If the leader is adharmic, if someone else is not following the dharma, exactly like the leader will, is not going to correct that person, right? This is something that we see, today, when the leader is corrupted, for example, right, the society gets corrupt. Corruption increases in the society, and the leader is kind of dictatorial, right? Not, I am great and everybody should follow me. The person below will follow the leader, and he will become like a smaller dictator. So he will force everybody under that person to follow him, right? So it is not just that one person problem. It becomes an entire society problem. Like it's like a chain. The person A, is acting as a dictator. Then person B follows A. No doubt about it. But person B is going to be a smaller dictator, right? And I'm using the word dictator in a sense that they're not following dharma. They're only thinking about their ego, primarily their ego, their power, their possessions, their self-satisfaction, and not caring what happens to others, right? So when, again, you may ask, what is wrong with that, let us say. Who is going to be the loser? That is a bigger question there. Is the person the loser or the society the loser? Of course, both are losing, but from that person's point of view, it is the person who is losing a lot, right? And because they are acquiring a lot of sin. Now we will go through when we go through Bhagavad Gita, what is sin and when somebody will acquire sin and what will happen. So it is not, sin is what we understand outside Bhagavad Gita is slightly, different. So don't think that, oh, only when somebody is hurt, then it is sin. Not sin is a broader. So we need to understand what is sin. When we go into later chapters, we'll understand. But so Duryodhana may be able to say, for example, Duryodhana character, when they are not following dharma, they may think that temporarily, yeah, everything looks great for them. Everybody is respecting them. Everybody is following their orders, his orders. Everybody, is doing exactly what he wants, and that's following order, right? So he doesn't have any opposition. He can do whatever he wants. There is no, whatever. He wants to possess everything. Yes, he will possess everything. So again, that comforts will increase, and so when that happens, right, it appears that, oh, this person is gaining a lot by having that kind of a behavior, a dharmic behavior. But they are, in fact, they're hurting or harming themselves a lot. So the person who is following the order is not affected at all. But if we are adharmic and making the other person do that, we are we are getting the sin. We are acquiring the sin. So we'll understand all that. So Duryodhana is like at the top, and he is not following dharma, and this entire team under him is also not following the dharma. Okay, and so with that, nobody seems to have any discipline and coordination. So everybody played the war instruments at the same time. Okay. Any questions on that? No? Okay, we'll move on to Sloka 14. Sloka 14. Please chant. Tatasvetai hayyukte mahatisyandane sthitau
Mahati Syandane Sthitau
madhava pandavaschaiva
Madhava
Pandavashaiva
Pandavaiva
divyau sankhau pradadhatuhu.
Divyau Shankau Pradadhatu
Let's chant together.
Tatasvetai hayyukte mahatisyandane sthitau madhava pandavashaiva divyau shankau pradadhatuhu.
Okay. So then what happened? So tataha, then svetaihi hayaihi yukte mahati syandane sthitau. Svetaihi hayaihi yukte mahati syandane sthitau. So here Sendana is chariot. Okay. What kind of chariot it is? Mahati Sendane Sitau. Mahati is undefeatable. Okay. So Mahati Sendane, on the undefeatable, invincible chariot, Sthitau, standing or situated. Okay. Who are there? Madhavaha, Pandavaha. Madhava is Lord Krishna. Madhava is a name for Krishna, another name for Krishna, and Pandavaha is Arjuna. Okay, so on the invincible chariot, Madhava and Pandava are situated, are standing, and what is attached to the chariot? Svetaihi hayaihi yukte. So there are horses, hayaihi, with horses. What kind of horses? What color are they? Svetaihi. What color? White color, right? So white horses, yukte, yoked or harnessed. Like, so you have the chariot, and the chariot is attached to or yoked with 4 horses. Okay, so on that chariot we have Madhava and Pandava. Okay, and what did they do?
What?
They
blow
Divyo
their
They blow their
other-
conch.
Yes, they blew their conches. So Divyo Senkau, the divine conches, Pradadmatahu, they blew their conches. Okay, so here again, if you just look at the at a very high level, just a literal meaning. Okay, Bhishma blew his conch, and then after that entire Kaurava army played their war instruments at the same time. Then, so after that is over, then standing on the chariot that is yoked with white horses, Krishna and Arjuna blew their conches, divine conches. Okay, so that is the literal meaning of it. But there is there's a lot of hidden meaning in this particular sloka. Now, why is there an explanation like, oh, you have invincible chariot, then white horses? Why do you even mention horses, right? Again, this is not somebody speaking in the battlefield, like Sanjaya. Remember, this entire Bhagavad Gita is narrated by Sanjaya, right? So Sanjaya saw what is happening there, and Sanjaya heard if somebody is speaking. Now, the speaking may not be even outside. It could be in their internal, how they're feeling, right? So if, let us say, if you want to ask a question or think of something, and without you saying it, if I'm able to get it, then it is like some kind of some divine, vision or hearing is there, right? Somebody is not saying, but we are able to hear, means something divine, right? Supreme, which is not normal. So Sanjaya has that ability because he got that divine vision and hearing. So he is able to see, and then when he is explaining it to Dhritarashtra, he said this, standing on the invincible chariot, which is harnessed with white horses, 4 white horses. We know from history that that chariot had 4 horses. He didn't say how many horses. He said hayaihi, plural. So with horses, he said. So, but we know that there are 4 horses. So he explained that, and then Krishna and Arjuna blew their divine conches, he said. So basically, we know, we know that the white color represents purity, and 4 horses. What is 4 in number, and which is pure, which are pure, right? So
4 pillar? No.
Vedas, 4 Vedas.
yeah, yes. Yeah, if you see the meanings that I've sent, on in WhatsApp chat. So for this sloka, so you'll get in a summary. Basically, there is about 1 hour explanation on just this sloka itself, on the background, of this hidden meaning or inner secret of this particular sloka. Why Sanjaya said this, why he got that a vision to say. I mean, it is not Sanjaya who invented things, right? I mean, it is the blessing that he got from Vedavyasa, and he's able to see what is happening there, and he could feel it. When he's saying, he just said it like a, just a chariot is there with 4 horses, white horses, and Krishna and Arjuna standing on it, and then they blew their conches. But inside, he knows what it means, and our acharyas who have analyzed this, and who have visualized this, and they are able to explain the hidden inner meanings. So basically, this 4 horses, right? 4 horses represent 4 Vedas. Okay, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda, and they're pure. These Vedas are apaurisheya. They are not written by any human, right? They are not like somebody sat and wrote. So Vedas existed since time beginning. I mean, there's nothing like somebody imagined and wrote it. Okay, when I say time beginning, it's not even this Kali Yuga or this Chaturyuga. We are in the 28th Chaturyuga of this Brahma, right? So one day we will go through. I mean, when we get a chance, we'll get a chance in future to see what is the age of this Brahma, and how long this Brahma will be there, and so millions of years. And just to give you the timeline, Lord Sri Rama was in 24th Chaturyuga, and we are in 28th Chaturyuga, and the difference is 18 million years. Okay, so you can imagine, you can extrapolate. So that is only for this Brahma. So you can see, I mean, it is there are many Brahmas before, and there will be many Brahmas later also. We will come to that in future chapters. So apaurisheya, these are not written by any human. And why this not written by human is pure is basically anything that is written by humans. Okay, they will have 4 faults. One of the 4 faults, or all of them. Brahma, Pramada, Vipralambha, and Asakti. Okay, so Brahma is illusion. You see something, but because of illusion, you understand something else. right? Becoming illusioned about truth. For example, the major Brahma that we have is that I am, this body is me. Okay, just of course we'll learn more as we go along, but that is Brahma, because I don't see anything, I mean, inside, and so I am, this body is me. So this is, I'm under a Brahma. Now pramada, okay, pramada is negligence. Okay, um, even though the truth is there, but you are negligent to even pursue it. Okay, so you're careless, you are inattentive, negligent. Those are the with that, basically you don't get the truth. So when you see something but you don't really pay attention, don't pay focus to it, then you will understand it as something else and write something else. So that is a fault. We are not able to represent the truth clearly. Now vipralambha is cheating somebody. Just, I have some vested interest. Okay, so I want to prove that this particular theory is great because I came up with it. So I will try to say anything to prove that it is great. This is what is happening nowadays, right? I come up with a theory, or I come up with some religion concept, and then I try to prove that because I see it is great, or maybe I have some vested interest. I really don't believe in it, but I still have to say it, no matter whatever it is. I will try to present it in a way that is colorful and truthful, right? Because I have vested interest in it. Something that is written by human could have a fault, of vipralambha. And the last one is asakti, inability to perceive something. Okay, because we are limited, we have limited abilities, for our senses. So our senses cannot perceive it. For example, we cannot perceive Atma. I cannot see Atma. I cannot measure Atma. I cannot taste Atma. There's no way I can prove it to you that Atma exists, right? So inability to perceive. So if, let us say, even though Atma exists, okay, if nobody told me, because I'm not able to see it, I will think that Atma does not exist, right? That is the asakti. Okay, so if I depend on my own senses for recognizing the truth, then I will write it, right? Typically, that's how it is. If I cannot perceive it, how can I write it? So, or whatever I perceive, that perception could be different from what is the truth, because of the inability of the senses, my senses. My senses may be, for example, one example could be that let us say somebody is color blind. Okay, so their sense of seeing is having some kind of a issue, inability to see, let us say, red color. So even if they see red color, they won't write it as red. They will probably write it as a gray or some other color, right? So that kind of a fault is there when somebody writes it. Vedas do not have the fault at all. Vedas are not written by human. Okay, so that's why they are faultless. They are pure. Okay, so we do not have to think that, oh, somebody wrote it, that's why, he might have written it because they want to prove themselves as great, or they want to, their senses are limited, or they're negligent. They wrote something to just say something, right? I mean, they have delusions, right? We should not think that way. I mean, Vedas are pure. So here, these 4 horses represent 4 Vedas. Now, any questions on this one? No? Okay, good. So next is these 4 Vedas now are pulling this chariot, right? I mean, 4 Vedas in the sense 4 horses. They are pulling the chariot. Now, so the chariot, that body is revealed to the world when these horses pull it forward, right? I mean, so that chariot cannot go by itself to some destination. It is the horses that take the chariot to another place. So this chariot is revealed at the destination because these horses are pulling, or through these horses. Okay, so what are these horses really? I mean, what are these Vedas revealing to the world? Okay, these Vedas are revealing the syllable Om. Okay, which is the essence of all Vedas. So Om is revealed to the world through the Vedas. Okay, so if you are, I mean, if somebody asks you what is there in Vedas, you can say that the quintessence of Vedas is Om. So if we understand Om, in order to understand Om, we have to read and chant Vedas, understand Vedas. Okay, so Om is revealed to the world through Vedas. Now, the same Om, which is a combination of 3 syllables, 3 letters, A, U, Ma. Okay, if you combine A, U, Ma, if you say them together, then you'll get Om sound, right? So A is representing Paramatma. Okay, U represents the before U, let us say Ma represents the Atma. Okay, so A is Paramatma and Ma is Atma. U is the relationship between them. So that is Om. So what is revealed to the world is through these Vedas is Paramatma, Atma, and their relationship. Okay, very simple. So so this Om is revealed to the world through these Vedas. Chariot is revealed to the destination through the horses, white horses. Now, so far clear?
Can we also say like this 4 dharma in 4 padas, or nothing, not
No.
related? Okay.
No, not. Yeah, so I mean, basically, what is revealed here in Bhagavad Gita? This is the quintessence of Bhagavad Gita. That's what they say. I mean, we learned that Bhagavad Gita is for everybody, and what's in Bhagavad Gita for me, right? It is defining true happiness, permanent happiness, all that. What we are going to learn is that this Bhagavad Gita, okay, is revealing to us the quintessence of Vedas, which is Om. Okay, so it is revealing to us. I mean, why when I understand that that knowledge, I will be I'll reach my goal. I'll reach my permanent happiness. That is my goal, right? So what is there to get me to that goal is Om. Okay, so that entire knowledge, we are learning about Paramatma, Atma, and the relationship between the two, sorry, is what we are going to learn in Bhagavad Gita. So so Sanjay said Krishna and Arjuna blew their conches, divine conches. So what is the sound that is made by Lord Krishna's conch? It reveals, it is revealing to the world when it's sending the sound, right? It is revealing to the world that I am the originator, I am the creator of everything, I am the master of all. I am the savior. I'm the ruler. I'm the master. I'm the savior of all. Okay, so that is what is revealed through Lord Krishna's conch. Now, Arjuna's conch, when he was blowing the conch, what it is revealing? He's saying that ma, right? It's revealing the ma is me. And like, I don't know, it is a coincidence that they chose me for ma. I'm not sure, but basically me. So me, who am I? I am it is revealing to the world that I am the Atma, the knowledgeable soul, right? Soul is a very loose, translation for Atma, because soul has a lot of meanings, depending on who we talk to, based on their understanding. So somebody may think soul is, having a beginning and end, but according to the scriptures, which do not have any faults, not written by anybody, the soul doesn't have a beginning or ending. So again, we will learn all those concepts. So soul is because we don't have a widely accepted translation for Atma, we are saying it as soul. But I think in future we have to say as Atma only, because Atma is the right word and doesn't have any other faults that come with people's understanding of what is soul, right? So Atma, so what Arjuna is revealing is, I am Atma. I'm knowledgeable Atma. So that means it is the nature of Atma is knowledge. We'll learn all those things as we go along. But it is with just giving a very, just a very high level what we're going to learn later, right? So, I am subservient to the Lord. I'm not independent. I am dependent on Paramatma. So you see the order in which they were blowing their conches. Lord Krishna blew his conch first, and then Arjuna next, right? So Krishna is the master. He declared that I am the master, and then followed by Arjuna. I am dependent on him. I'm subservient to him, right? So when these two sounds are combined together and revealed to the world, that is Bhagavad Gita. The quintessence of Bhagavad Gita is Om. A and the relationship and then Ma put together is Om, and that is revealed through the conscious. And if you see the inner meaning of this particular sloka is that Lord Krishna is revealing the quintessence of Vedas through Bhagavad Gita for the sake of us, the subservient souls. Okay, So that is the inner meaning of the sloka. Any questions on this? It is a very deep concept. I went through very quickly. Just to say that again, with the Acharya's blessings, we got this knowledge. Without that, it's again we have asakti, we have pramada, we have Brahma. All these things. With that, we are not able to see the reality clearly. So if I am writing the meaning for this particular sloka myself, right, I will write it like a story. Oh, okay, Krishna and Arjuna were standing on the chariot and then blew their conches. Beyond that, I cannot see anything, right? But there is a lot of hidden meaning, hidden secret. So this is how Bhagavad Gita will go through, right? I mean, a lot of slokas you see on the outside, it is just literal meaning is something, but there is a lot of deep meaning to it. So we'll learn all that as we go along. Okay.
Thanks, Andy. This is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we'll move on to Sloka 15. So I'll share my screen again. Okay, Sloka 15. Panchajanyam Hrishikeso
Panchajanyam Hrishikeso
Devadattam Dhananjayah
Devadattam Dhananjayah
Poundram Dadmau Mahasankham
Poundram Mahashankham
Bhima Karma Vrukodaraha.
Bhima Karma Vrukodaraha.
Let's chant together.
Panchajanyam
Panchajanyam
Hrishikesaha
Hrishikesha
Devadattam
Dhananjaya
Dhananjayah Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham
Shankham
Bhima
Karma
Karma
Vrikodaraha.
Vrukodaraha.
So this sloka is a little bit, easy to go through. Again, there is a lot of hidden meaning to also. Okay, so what is this sloka saying? So they started blowing their conches. Lord Krishna and Arjuna started blowing their conches. So the names of the conches are given here. Hrishikesaha Panchajanyam. Panchajanyam Hrishikesaha. Again, just to say something about pronunciation, right? Pronunciation. Hrishikesaha. That sha, the second letter sha and the fourth letter sa are two different, So Hrishikesaha. So Hrishikesaha is Lord Krishna, is the name of another name of Lord Krishna. Panchajanyam is his conch. So he blew his conch, Panchajanya. Then Devadattam Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya is name of Arjuna, another name of Arjuna. So Arjuna blew his conch, Devadatta. And Bhima Karma Vrukodaraha. Okay. Bhima Karma is Bhima, whose activities are, terrific, magnificent. He did so many magnificent things, right? That normal people typically cannot. So Bhima Karma, without going, I'll skip the details, but so Bhima Karma, Rukodara. So Bhima followed by Bhima blew his conch. Okay. What is his conch's name? Mahasankam Poundram. Poundram is his conch's name. So Bhima Karma, Rukodara is name of another name for Bhima. Okay, so he blew his conch named Poundram, or Poundra if you want to say in English. So Panchajanya, Devadatta and Poundra, blew by Lord Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima. Now, why do we have the name mentioned as Rishikesa for Lord Krishna here? What does Rishikesa mean? Okay,
Control senses.
Yes, one who controls the senses of all senses in all bodies in this universe. Okay, Rishikas are senses. Isa means control or command. Okay, so one who commands the senses is called Rishikesaha. Rishikesa, if you want to say in English, we don't say the aha at the end typically. So Lord Krishna is the one who is the controller of our senses. Okay. Now, Rishikesaha is the word that is used here, not other words. Like in the previous sloka, we have Madhavaha. Madhavaha is the spouse of Lakshmi, is the literal meaning. So it's Narayana. So there, it is talking about the originator, savior of all. So that is the inner hidden meaning of that word Madhava. Now, Hrishikesa here is that he is the inner controller of all our senses, or the one who commands our senses. Okay. Typically, we think I have full control on my senses, right? I mean, if I want to, not see, I mean, I can close my eyes, or see, I will open my eyes, or hear. So you say, oh, I seem to have full control on my senses, right? But that's only, again, it's a kind of lack of knowledge. If you think that way, we have limited control of our senses, limited command on our senses. So we have total 11 senses. Okay. 5 are senses of perception, that is jnana, indriya. So indriyas is the right word again. Of course, senses is very close translation, so we can say it's not a problem. So it is the organ of that whatever, like let us say eyes. Now eyes is one of the jnanendriyas through which we can see, right? And typically we think this eye, physical eye, but the entire mechanism we can think of is the that is the indriya, that is the just not just a physical thing, but what makes us see the whole body part is Jnanendriya. So eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin are the 5 senses of perception, and 5 karmendriyas are senses of action are mouth, hands, legs, excretion, and reproduction. So these are the Jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. So 10 of them. And there is one indriya that is controlling these 10. Okay, it's like holding, all these senses from running after each, wherever it wants to, right? So that is the manas. So again, close translation for manas is mind. Okay. So mind is the one that controls these 10 senses. Now, we think, oh no, mind is controlling the senses, but that is limited control. Even that control is provided to, that ability to control is also provided to mind from behind by Paramatma only. Okay, so Hrishikesa is the one who is controlling our senses. Okay, now we if we want, let us say, I can control my taste. If I think I'm controlling my taste, I should be able to, like, if I eat something very sweet, I should be able to convert it, because I'm controlling it, right? The taste. So I should be able to convert it to spice and then feel that spice, but I can't. And did anybody train me to, did I go to a college, get a degree in order to get the taste of sweet or spice or whatever? I didn't do anything. I'm able to get that automatically, right? So, and some people, unfortunately, they may not have that sense of perception, like probably eyes or ears, things like that. So again, no fault of theirs, they think, right? So we do not have control. Whatever control we have is within our limits. Whatever is provided to us, we are able to, I'm able to hear only certain frequencies. I'm not able to hear some other frequencies. I cannot hear something and then hear a cat and then convert it to dog because I have full control on sense. No, I cannot do that. So it is what it is, So at best we can control, I can close my eyes, but I cannot keep it closed for a long time. If I want to see something, if I want to play a game, right? I'm so interested in playing game. Unfortunately, this is a problem nowadays. Somebody plays a game for a long time, like 7 days or something like that, they die. That unfortunate things have happened. So they don't have, they cannot control and say, oh, let me open my eyes for a long time and I should be able to do that. No, we don't have control. So the control is provided to us by Paramatma only. Or he's the true controller or commander of our senses. Okay, so why is that word used here? Not any other word. Is again the hidden meaning, hidden secret, right? So we typically get a question, right? That when Lord Krishna and Arjuna are speaking, there are 700 slokas. When we chant it, it takes about 3 hours. So what are all these guys doing, right? When they are speaking in the middle of that's the next sloka. We'll come to it, but the reason why Hrishikesa is given here is to answer that question. Like somebody may get a question saying, when Lord Krishna and Arjuna are speaking to each other for such a long time, that 4 million people in that battlefield, what were they doing, right? Like they're just watching them. It's not possible. They will say, they'll come and question these people, or they will fight when they can't keep quiet for 3 hours, right? So did it really take 3 hours is another question. But whatever time it is, right? whether it is 15 minutes or 2 hours or 5 hours, whatever time it is, what were those people doing? It is not possible to have this conversation in a battlefield. Is the question that typically somebody may raise it, who don't believe, who have a hard time believing, because again, they have asakti, pramada, vipralamba. So the reality is that Rishikesa is the true controller of our senses. Okay, he can put them on hold. So the entire 4 million people and all the animals, no, we're not counting animals earlier. It's okay for people to keep quiet for such a long time, but that animals, you can't keep a horse and elephants and all those animals there stand still for 2 hours or whatever time it took for them to have the conversation. So Lord Krishna is the one who controlled the senses. So in order to answer that question, again, this is the greatness of Bhagavad Gita and our acharyas who have who are able to explain to us that Hrishikesa is telling us that he is able to control or command the senses of all people there who are standing in that battlefield. Okay, so they were put on hold. I mean, they didn't even realize probably that time is lapsing. Okay, now there is the same time you can see that Sanjay is able to get the knowledge, right? Without being present there physically, like standing right next to them. He is able to get that knowledge. Now, that is the enhancing somebody's senses, which is not possible for somebody to enhance by themselves, right? Sanjay can't simply say, wish, let me get Divya Drishti. No, he can't. So he is able to do that. Now, the question of, Arjuna, right? In the middle of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna shows his Vishwarupa. He enhanced his, his senses of perception again. Lord Krishna enhanced. So he again commanded his normal senses to a supreme level, higher level, so that they're able to perceive something that cannot be perceived otherwise. So in that context, right, now we can also imagine that Lord Krishna doesn't need somebody to say a few words and then he will explain in so many words, right? If somebody, let us say I think of something, right? If I have to write it on paper, it may take an hour for me to write. But when I think of something, that entire concept is there with me in few seconds, right? But if I put it on paper, then it may take a long time for me. Okay, so when the conversation is going on, it is not necessary that Arjuna is saying all these slokas by taking his own time like a song, and then Lord Krishna thinking about it and then answering as a song again. It is not necessary. So the method of communication there is supreme, that we cannot think of with our own imagination, right? With our senses, we cannot. So again, a very simple thing is somebody thinks of a question and without even expressing that question, the opposite person who is may have that kind of a ability may be able to perceive it and answer it. We have seen that many times with Sri Swamiji. So imagine Paramatma is at that level. Now, Paramatma, Arjuna doesn't have to speak all those things. And then only, Lord Krishna will be able to answer. And then his answer, Arjuna, is not able to hear. And then, can you please repeat? I didn't understand. No, he is able to give the message the way, immediately it is received by Arjuna. Okay. So it is not like, oh, these people are making sound. Can you please repeat? Or can you go slow? Nothing like that. So Hrishikesa is that word which answers all these questions, So, so we should not have any doubt. Somebody asks a question. Oh, it took 3 hours for me to chant. How much time it took for Arjuna, and what were they doing everybody else is doing at the time. Rishikesh answers that question. That it might have been moments, that entire thing would have happened. Now, Sanjaya, who has a divine vision, he is able to, get that. Like somebody is narrating, it will take, and somebody else is writing, it will take a long time. But if I'm able to go into his mind and read it, okay, for me, it will take 1 hour to narrate what he was thinking, but for him, it doesn't take much time at all, right? So Bhagavad Gita took whatever time it is, but Lord Krishna is able to control the senses of everybody. Now, this is the key in our, as we go along. Bhagavad Gita, when we are reading and trying to understand, I am able to try understand by myself, my own abilities. If I have it, then it is difficult for me to understand. We need to surrender to Paramatma. Let him enhance our ability to understand. Let him enhance our senses of perception. Let him enhance our mind. To understand it. Then we will get the knowledge. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to get the knowledge. We will have questions. We may think something is contradicting and all that, and doesn't make sense. Things like that. So we have to surrender to Hrishikesa to get that knowledge. And of course, we are so lucky to have our Swamiji and our Acharyas who surrendered to Paramatma and got the knowledge and explained to us in detail. We are able to read that and or listen to it, and then we are getting the knowledge. So we need to surrender to those, our Acharyas, in order to get the knowledge and properly get the knowledge, understand it, and able to convey it. So when we do that, our senses will be enhanced as well, to the extent that we will be able to understand it the way it should be understood. So again, this is the Hrishikesa tells us to surrender, to say that, because he is the one who is controlling, right? I mean, if somebody is driving the train or fly, is a pilot flying, you don't go and say that, oh, I have full control and let me drive myself. Obviously, it will crash. But if the pilot is doing it, you let the pilot fly, then you will go safely, right? So we have to accept that there is a this Paramatma who is controlling our senses. By ourselves, I am not able to understand this. Let me surrender to him. Let him enhance my abilities. Then I will understand. With that, then I will be able to get the knowledge, practice it, and reach my goal.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
So this surrender, right? What does surrender look like? Because what happens is, when I am thinking something, and if I have a question, I now feel guilty to ask a question because I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not surrendered and I'm asking a question. So it's like, what does surrender mean? Like, not asking any question, like understand,
So
where's the
surrender,
boundary there?
right? So I mean, surrender at a very high level. Again, this prapatti will have to will get to it, as we go along. But at a very high level, I am dependent. I am dependent. I'm not independent. I am surrendering myself. So when I say I am dependent, right? I cannot protect myself. I cannot control myself. I depend on somebody to, to protect me, to save me, to, whatever I am doing today, I'm thinking that I am doing it is because of him. That is what is surrendering. So at a very high level, I'm surrendering to you, Paramatma, means you are taking care of me, So that is a very high level surrender. Now, second is, surrender does not mean that, okay, let me take your opinion and then I will decide by myself. Okay. That is another thing. So typically we say, we go, I'm surrendering to you, please save me and all that. And then when we get the whatever, suggestions, advice or whatever, knowledge, then we say, let me take second opinion, third opinion, or let me think, based on my thinking, if I think it is right, then I will do it. Then again, I'm not totally surrendering to that person. I'm thinking that I am still independent. I am supreme. My knowledge is supreme. And whatever I receive from that person, I'm trying to filter it out or decide whether I want to do it or not. That is not surrendering. So to ask a question, perfectly fine. Arjuna asked Lord Krishna so many questions in Bhagavad Gita. Perfectly fine. So it is not like asking a question is not surrendering. Okay. Now, if let us say, based on our thinking right now, based on our knowledge that we have right now, and let's say we received new knowledge, and it appeared conflicting, right? Let us say I'm thinking I'm body, but somebody says no, you're Atma. Then I may get a question. No problem in asking that question, but that question cannot be to test the person who is giving the knowledge. That question cannot be saying that, oh, you're wrong. Based on my understanding, this is what it is, and try to argue with that person. That is not surrendering. So genuine question, if I have a question to enhance my own understanding, to enhance my knowledge, again, definitely asking questions is the right thing to do in front of Guru, but not to test the knowledge of Guru, not to put the Guru in some kind of a, problem, saying that if the Guru is teaching about mathematics, then don't ask question about, theory of relativity. Then obviously, and then say, if the Guru says, I need to, that's a different topic, and say, try to ridicule the Guru. That is not the purpose. If whatever mathematics teaching, if you're not able to understand, sincerely, if you have a question that you want to enhance your own understanding or get some more detail, definitely the right thing to ask. Actually, that is the right way of doing it, because even in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says something, Arjuna asks a question, then Lord Krishna answers it, in detail like that, right? So it is the right thing to do. So asking question is not, not surrender. It is after surrendering, also we can ask question. Is that okay?
Yeah, I still feel hesitation. Maybe, it's just my personal thing. That I
Right.
tend to ask a lot of questions and I feel like it's misunderstood. So then I ask less questions, but I have questions and I'm saying like, let's not ask the question. So it's not to test, right? It's to understand and go deeper, understanding more. So that's why I
Right.
was saying like, where's the boundary? Where's the limitation? Where's the limit of that? Is there one?
I mean, in practical terms nowadays, like, you may be concerned about others' time, so the question may be right. You really want to ask a question, but you are concerned that maybe other people may not be interested. It will waste the time or it will deviate from the subject. With respect on the topic to enhance your understanding, relevant understanding. So then if you have a question, then definitely you can ask. Not here. I'm just saying, in general, that question of, okay, should I ask a question or not ask a question? If I ask question, then probably it is seen as not surrendering. So that is not the case. You can ask a question, but you have to keep this in mind. Pariprasnena is what is the word that they use. So you have to have respect for the guru or whoever is giving you the advice, and then you should have the open mind to accept what the guru says. Not like, I already know the answer, let me check if the guru has a answer or not, or I know the answer and let me try to fight with the guru and try to prove guru wrong, or argue with him or something like that. So that is, if that is not there, then definitely it is in line with what can be asked.
Thank you, sir. This was very helpful. Thank you.
I think in the
Can we
Tavasvi
also
video,
say complete faith, sir? Complete faith in Paramatma is surrendering, right?
Yes. Yeah. He is the one who is,
The force
who's
yeah,
supreme,
driving
right?
force.
I'm
Yeah.
always subservient. I'm always dependent on him. So not think like, okay, I can do things by myself till the time I'm in some trouble. And I approach some Paramatma, and if he doesn't pull me out of trouble, then I can question him, his abilities to help me. That is not surrendering. So whether surrendering is whether I get the result or not, I'm surrendering. Okay, that is, this is very important. Surrendering is a big topic, but typically what happens is, let me surrender, and I'm in big trouble, let us say, and then let me surrender to Paramatma, and then I don't see the result. Okay, then I'll say that, there's something wrong with my surrender, or something wrong with him. I shouldn't have surrendered to him. That is a kind of thing. One more thing is that once we surrender to Paramatma, we don't think anyone else is a savior for us. That is one of the things, right? You cannot have multiple people surrender to. Okay. I surrender to Paramatma, then I go to somebody else and say, oh, you are my savior. Somebody else and say, you are my savior. That should not be there. Whatever I am getting, when I surrender to Paramatma, and whatever result I'm getting or not getting, everything is from Paramatma only. It's not like Paramatma appears in front of me and gives me. Like if somebody else helps me, Paramatma helped me. somebody else doesn't help me, that's fine. Paramatma doesn't want that person to help me. It's fine. Whatever may be, it is up to him. It's like you're getting onto a flight, right? No, you surrender yourself to the pilot. You can't, when we go into the middle of the, the journey, and then you can say, "Oh, okay, I don't believe in this pilot. Let me change some pilot," right? You cannot do that. Or let me change the flights in the middle of the, journey. So. Very like some example there. So yeah, we surrender to Paramatma with a complete acceptance that he is the controller of our senses. That is what we need to have. He's the, that's what our Vedas are saying. It's not like Paramatma came and said, "Oh, you have to serve me," and all. It's not like that. It is not for the sake of Paramatma we are doing it. Okay, so again, that is someone may think, right? I mean, you pray to somebody for his some benefit to him, right? You think that, oh, he said, like a CEO comes and says that, "Oh, you have to serve me, and then I'm going to pay you some bonus," something like that. So there's some he wants me to serve him, so he's getting something out of me, right? That is a kind of feeling we have, right? I mean, in the materialistic world. So if somebody asks me to do something, I think that there's something else, something is in it for him. So that's why he's telling me to do it. Okay, it is not like that here. It is not like he's getting something because I am serving him, he will get something. If I don't serve him, he will not get it. So that's why he's telling me to serve him. Absolutely no. Paramatma doesn't want anything from us, doesn't need anything from us. It doesn't depend on us at all. Okay, he doesn't care whether he loves us. So that's what from that aspect he cares. But it is not from that, like, if I, like today, let's say in our offices, right? If the entire division doesn't go to work, then the company is in trouble, right? So the company wants us to serve the company because for company's benefit. Otherwise, company cannot survive. Okay, company will go down. Paramatma has no problem like that. If we serve, it is good for us. If we don't serve, we'll continue in our own journey. So we'll learn all those things. But so it is not for the sake of Paramatma's benefit he's asking us to serve. Or it is not for his sake he is controlling our senses. He doesn't need us at all. But he is the one who is giving to us out of love, out of again, that love for us, and he wants to give us a chance. So that's how we need to see it, and then we have to serve for our own benefit. Our own benefit in the sense, not for the sake of body. Again, of course, these are all very deep concepts. As we go along, we will learn. Some of them, the statements that I may make here may look a little bit contradictory or confusing. We will learn more when we go into future chapters. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll conclude with the concluding prayer.
Ayena vacha
Kayena vacha manasendriya
बुद्ध्यात्मनेवा प्रकृते स्वभावात् भवमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणाय समर्पयामि
Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha.
गुरुभ्यो नमः
Jai Srimanarayana.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण थैंक यू सो मच
Jai Srimanarayana.